What's up, unretirees? Art Johnson here. And here's a story I will be telling this fresh new year in year 2026. It's about how we're succeeding with navigating our unretired lives in gainful and timely ways. So, subscribe now to my channel so you don't miss out on all the great info and good news I'll be sharing as together we learn how to transform our lives and as we learn how to transform our planet step by quality assurable step. But first, let's focus on the structure and power of story to understand what moves us forward in really good ways and how we 65 plusers all fit in to tell it. I'm using classic storytelling structure or story arc, and it is comprised of three major parts. Exposition is where the story begins by introducing us to the key characters of the story, which in our case is us 65 plusers navigating our retirement. But then there is plot point one, where all of our changes we experience in retirement move our story forward from exposition to challenge. Challenges we have to deal with that get more and more serious and life threatening as we're experiencing them. And for many of us, our major challenge is about the money, or more accurately, not having enough of it to comfortably live out the remaining time we have on the earth plane and our need for more of it. Then there is our challenge of finding work at age 65 plus in our now 21st century world and becoming a victim of ageism, both externally and internally. Then there are our life-threatening health and wellness challenges, our mind, body, and spiritual challenges. Then finally, there are the world's challenges, politically, environmentally, technically, and the risk of a sixth extinction of species life that scientists warn us of. But then all is not lost, because with plot point two, this moves our story forward again from challenge to resolution. Due to the good news of communications and learning that transforms our lives and transforms our planet. So here's the resolution. I'll be introducing you to net new ways that front-running 65 plusers are abundantly already making money with and helping others make theirs, episode after episode, even while they are helping our planet and leaving behind a positive legacy for generations to come. So don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be introducing you to innovative ways that front-running 65 plusers are not only finding but creating work for themselves as well as for others, as well as addressing our ageism challenges as opportunities in disguise, episode after episode. I'll also be introducing you to ways we 65 plusers are addressing our life challenging health and wellness challenges, our mind, body, and spiritual challenges as opportunities in disguise, episode after episode. Now, what about our how-to and our social proof? Here's what you can learn and soar with. Communications is my own remote consulting practice and virtual enterprise that I founded and launched in year 1997 at age 50. So decades later, I have a really robust site that I'm going to be using all of the services there to help us all move forward in the 21st century world. A feature of that can be introduced through my Imani Jones, my virtual assistant. And I'll just play a little bit so you just see how she works. I wrote the script for her that she then presents to you. Here she goes.
Welcome to New World Communications, where we provide intelligent communications for our 21st century world, and where we deliver the timely mission-critical learning a new world needs. My name is Imani Jones, and I am your avatar assistant today. Today, we'd like to share with you information about us, what we do, and why we do it. Now about us. Art Johnson, our founder, is our CEO and Chief Learning Officer. Here's a bit of Art Johnson's backstory. He received his MA from the University of California in Berkeley. He is a former instructor of politics and ethnic studies in the San Francisco Bay Area. He became a broadcast industrial television systems sales engineer. Art then became a VP of marketing and sales for high-end computer graphics workstations, and this landed him as an Apple business development manager in Seattle. Then all this experience landed Art at KCTS Public Television in Seattle, serving as a KCTS Learning Services project manager, supporting teachers and their students in over 100 K-12 public school districts, private schools, and homeschooling groups across Washington state, as well as Boeing aerospace engineers continuing their education from their places of work over a hybrid microwave fiber optics television network. That is until Art was smitten by a whole newly emergent world of internet-based communications and online learning. During his 5th year at KCTS Public Television, and after being smitten by this newly emergent world of internet-based communications and online learning and what mastery of it promised, Art experienced a call deep from within. To leverage the wisdom of generations, to address critical lifelong issues, to succeed using new technology innovatively and entrepreneurially, and to serve humanity and our planet well in more timely and impactful ways. Thank you for letting me share with you a little bit about New World Communications via our founder Art Johnson's backstory, and what he had on his mind and in his heart, right before the launch of New World Communications. Now here's Art himself talking about the company's vision, its mission, what we do now and why we do it.
So anyway, that's me there, and I wrote the script for her. And really, this is in year 2026. This is what we have now, and it starts with our robust suite of e-learning services. And if I click on this, you'll see where we are. One of the things we've just recently added is the new explainer video services. These are animated explainer videos that are very effective for engaging learners because they're really fun. We use these 3D characters, scenario-based dialogues that rock, and they're great for delivering interactive soft skills training. And New World Communications can rapidly produce your e-learning project in storytelling mode. And you can actually see our example here. I'll just go through a little bit of it here that we did with our CEO, Dave, here. I wrote the script, did all this, and this is a really rapid e-learning creation product outcome that we did. So here we go.
Hello. Welcome to New World Communications. My name is Victoria and I head up our Business Solutions Department. How can I help you?
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Dave with ABC Corporation. I'm their founder and CEO. I found you on LinkedIn. I really liked your recent article series about developing business in a 21st century world, and I'd like to learn more.
Great. What did you like about our article series that had you reach out to learn more about us?
Well, to start, I like the idea of doing virtual focus groups and strategic planning services to help us gain focus and be more on target with our people and with our customers. The pandemic has changed a whole lot of things, and we really need to be more strategic to avoid further loss and to make new gains. We are catching hell right now. And I think doing virtual focus groups could help, especially right now.
Great. If you tell me a little more about your situation, I'll be happy to share with you how we might be able to help, using our virtual focus group and strategic planning services. What's happening right now?
Well, right now we are missing the mark, because the world has really changed, and is a lot more diverse. We need to reach and engage whole new groups of people to make ends meet sales-wise, and cost of business-wise. And the cost of our office overhead across our enterprise is incredibly high, and so are our travel expenses. And our cost of our annual meeting and participating in third-party conference and trade show events is really high and hasn't been paying off. And on top of all this, we've been experiencing a whole lot of costly employee churn. Many of our new hires are already leaving, and we aren't clear about why. This is costing us a ton of money, and our overall performance and operation sucks. And then, there is also this call for more diversity, equity and inclusion. And quite honestly, we don't even have a clue about how to change what we do. And on top of it all, is this thing about climate change, and our huge carbon footprint to deal with. Public relations-wise, this makes us look socially irresponsible, and not the right kind of company to work for or do business with. What do you think about the idea of doing a series of virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions to get a handle on all this?
Wow. Thanks for being so open, Dave. You are right about your interest in doing virtual focus groups and strategic planning sessions to get a handle on your situation. Because a series of these sessions with targeted audiences can do a world of good. We accomplish this by addressing each one of your challenges as new opportunities for service and significant growth. And by working closely with you, and with the folks on your core team, we do this by asking just the right questions that you need answers to in the key areas you just mentioned. This strategically will grow sales in those key areas, reduce cost, and increase profit in socially responsible, ultra-affordable, and eco-friendly ways. And all of this will do a world of good, all the way to the bank and beyond, so let's get started.
Hello team. Now that we've been getting on focus, and are now getting more on target and spot on with our people, our customers, and our partners by answering some key questions in key areas impacting our bottom line, I'd like to introduce you to Victoria Brown of New World Communications. New World Communications is a company we've been working with that's been serving us well over the last month. Right when we needed it, Victoria and her staff at New World Communications provided us with virtual focus group and strategic planning sessions that have begun to give us a world of good that already has been positively helping our bottom line. So welcome, Victoria.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you for the warm introduction. Thanks to everyone on both of our teams, we made great progress in key areas impacting your bottom line profitability. And because of the focus and insight we've gained, Dave, why don't you share what's next?
So you can see that the story that I can tell, and these are teachable. This is a teachable application, very fast. And then this is something that you can learn. We can teach you. We're going to be offering a course in this. Matter of fact, we're going to be offering courses, how-to courses on every one of our services. And if we go down, if we scroll down here, we have our virtual, that's where we begin, our virtual focus group and strategic planning services. And we actually have fattened up our CEO, Dave, who can then give you a overview of the value of doing virtual focus groups and strategic planning services. And this is another AI assistant that I've written the script for. And he talks about how you can make gains and reduce losses. So everybody can really benefit from this. And this is a very, very very fruitful service to be involved with. So I just wanted to let you know this is a really neat way to begin. And then that goes right down to our YouTube channel services. And I'm recording this YouTube video here. I'm doing a series of 52 weeks of episodes here that are going to take you from where you are now to where you want and need to go to be. And as I continue to grow and as I continue to learn and master YouTube, I'm going to make some mistakes. Some of the programs are not going to be done, but I'm not worried about likes, and I'm not, worrying about that. I want to produce value to a key group, a group of people who are recognize the value of what I'm trying to do here very uniquely. No one else, there's no other channel here that can do that. And so we're going to be covering all of these modules. The first module will be breaking the code, which is not a code, not about a technology code. The code has to do with getting known, getting liked, getting trusted, getting tried, getting bought again, and then being referred to other people to say, this Johnson guy, he's got some stuff that's really been helping me navigate my unretired life. Why don't you watch his stuff and check him out? So that'll do that. And then module 2 is getting the content right. We're doing our focus groups that informs some of the content. Also, some of the hits and the misses that we learn from by doing our videos. And then we optimize what we do and just about every area, tweak it. And then we look at our, we just, amplify and further develop and expand over here and empower other we do the whole loop again, rinse and repeat. So the whole model here in the series is to succeed over time by planning a series, by preparing productions, by delivering value, and ultimately transacting business. Our ultimate goal is an online course called Navigating Your Unretired Life. And we're going to be developing an initial minimal viable product to get us going here. And then further develop it. We'll offer it as a discount to front runners who will be with us. And actually will be a co-created venture, meaning that we work together to say what it is that we all need here. I'm not just going to be the sage on the stage. I'll be more like a guide by the side to orchestrate all these people. And we're going to be doing this over Zoom. So we can have audiences here, people to come online and your audiences, and people will see something completely different that we introduce to the world in terms of what we do here. So that gives you some idea here. If we go back to our page here, and the next stage is, we're going to be doing these workshops and courses. I've already talked about the YouTube one here. We'll also be using Zoom to grow business because it's really one of the core elements of our virtual enterprise. We're also working with Google Workspace, and Google Workspace allows us to develop a whole virtual enterprise that has a big reach and potentially learning richness here. So we'll be covering that. And we'll be adding more to our workshops and courses as we go. We're learning what we need, what people need, and then developing the courses for that. So that's how that kind of works. So let's get us further over to let's go back to our About Us page. You can learn more about our background and our evolution by going to this page. And you can also go back and then look at where we're going with our mobilization services. So the idea, this is logical, that as we learn how to gain focus with different audiences, particularly with unretirees like yourself, we can then eventually do a whole mobilization campaign that's going to be really fun. That starts with these steps here. One of the good things about COVID is that a lot of people got enabled. They started using Zoom calls, and they weren't so happy with them, but we know how to do them really, really well and have them really, really fun. And they can be a core part of doing business here, getting enabled over Zoom or other video conferencing of your choice, doing business here over the technology, making plans, being social over social media, YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and things like that. And then using our YouTube to really grow business here through a series of critical conversations for a 21st century world we're planning. And then to get people ready for our virtual conference and trade show, and recruit people, we'll be doing virtual business casuals at local restaurants. These are going to be really fun. And restaurateurs will love us driving more people into their physical world restaurants for happy hours and really a really nice show that's going to be live streamed right from the restaurant. And then entering into conversation series over Zoom, over YouTube here, and this will further gain focus. We'll have audiences coming. We'll have a Q&A session at the end that'll further inform us. And then we'll get people ready for participating as exhibitors or presenters by our one-day virtual training boot camps. These will be done across the world, across the internet. So we'll have people from all over the planet being able can log in and get trained. And that gets them ready for virtual conferences and trade shows that we can offer in a very, very affordable way. Several years ago, I was supporting one of my dear friends and colleagues uh, doing these all-day summits. And so as a result of that, I said, I can really do this myself to have this done. So I've developed this whole customizable platform here. It's called my Virtual Conferences and Trade Show Platform Services, which has a virtual lobby, has a virtual receptionist, has virtual auditoria, has virtual meeting centers, has virtual, with different, conference rooms, virtual exhibit halls, virtual booths. Okay. And all of this is part of a curriculum for a new world that inspires us and moves us forward, delivering intergenerational e-learning services and delivering learning co-authored with everyone. So this is bold. This is bold. And there's a lot of spin-off that can happen out of here. If we go back here to go back to seeing where this spins off. If you look at my diagram here, I'll go back to my mobilization. One of the things you see here, these are the events. This is like what they call tentpole marketing. If you ever watch Shark Week, you see how they build and build and build. And so by a series of that, when we get up to this critical conversation series, you can see a lot of things will spin off out of this. One will be a world-class consulting practice that's done virtually through the applications that we're using, a prime time interactive reality program series, probably you know, Netflix quality even, film quality here. And then we anticipate new social ventures that get attracted people see what we're doing and say, wow, this is novel. I really want to work with you on this. So new social ventures are going to come, plus the rethinking of education itself. Wow. So this is really exciting to us. Hopefully it's exciting to you here as we go through this. And then that gets us down to more instructional design services. We have been rethinking the whole idea of corporate e-learning because it's kind of missed the mark. It's still evolving here. And as front runners, we learned that the best learning happens that's co-created, where you have learners really at where the tire meets the road, who are interfacing with clients and tell you what kind of training they really need, not just top down training, but bottom up and training that really meets the mark. And I started my training, I was in distance learning at KCTS Public Television in Seattle. And during that, in my last year there, it hit me, the Wild World Web just came out, and I decided I'm not getting any younger. So I grabbed the ring and ran and developed an innovative web-based classroom once I did that at the station, you couldn't keep me at the station because there was a whole new world of communications and learning to seize, and I have not looked back since. And then I started working with entire e-learning smorgasbord of technology, all these different things here. I've worked with a number of different learning management system architectures here. I've even experimented with systems level gamification learning. And the latest is co-authored social learning happening over social media. particularly YouTube, and using things like Zoom, like I'm doing affordably. By the way, this is a really, really easy thing to do. I'm using a webcam, a high resolution webcam, recording 95% of my content this way, and then uploading it to YouTube or live streaming it and actually going to simulcast to YouTube Live and even Facebook Live. Yeah, that's part of the plan here. So you can really see this just kind of goes along with this whole thing. So are you thinking about how you might learn some new things? How you might realize that this is not the end of the world, that in unretirement, there are whole new opportunities to seize. Now, one of the things I've noticed is I'm looking at the ageism as an opportunity in disguise. I'm looking at things like racism and sexism as opportunities in supply. I'm building a diverse, inclusive, equity creating enterprise that brings the whole world together, across political parties, across the aisle, across the planet. And so I'm very excited about this. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because I don't want you to miss out on all the good that we're going to be sharing with you. And that gets us to also where some of the people will say, well, Johnson, wait a minute. We're doing physical world events, and we've already booked stuff at the Washington State Convention Center, and we're doing this, and we can't just go right away from this, but how can we add advantage? So that's where our physical world live streaming happens. Only a few people can afford to be at one place at the same time. But if you have a way to stream that, we can have massive change. We can have massive organizational development, massive change across your entire enterprise by live streaming physical world events. And that's what this is about. Only a few years ago, only a few high-end stations could afford to do this. You had to have a uplink truck and $50,000, $60,000 cameras here and a whole team of this. But now we can do this with new technology, even smartphone technology, even some of this technology that I'm using right now is all possible. And so talk to us about that. That's something that you can learn how to do depending on what you want to do. You might be a manager. You might be managing other people, teams of people doing this. So you don't have to, it's not all hands on for everybody, but this is really kind of be a really good thing. So let's go back to our e-learning services again. And then after that, you can arrive to what our whole goal has been from the very beginning, which has to do with global strategic partnership building, where we leverage the entire enchilada of our services. And then we're here because we want to create work for people that want to do some meaningful work, have a meaningful life, have some fun, join in our community. It's a really supportive community, and share our knowledge to really transform the planet in ways that we deeply care about. And never more is this more important now than in our 21st century world, where because of our focus on this thing happening in the world or that thing happening in the world and all the bad news, we kind of get bummed out. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. We kind of get bummed out by, you know, all of the things. We don't realize our value. And a lot of us have a creative urge, a creative calling within us that we might have repressed all our life. And now it's a time where we're focusing on this to make our lives really count. I mean, they count, they're important already, but being able to do some new things and to form new relationships and to help other generations. I have children, I have grandchildren, and I'm concerned about generations to come about the planet. We can do some amazingly good things by joining together, starting with joining my channel, and let's talk. You can reach me. I'm Art Johnson. I'm the CEO and Chief Learning Officer at New World Communications. You can text or call me at 206-920-8067. You can email me at support@newworldcom.com, and do visit my website and my channel. So I look forward to working with you, and this is going to be an awesomely good year. Thank you so much.